Okay, on the first part of this series, on my fourth Daisy 340, which has been going superbly, it's very much being competitive with the Crossman gun, and it wasn't like that before. Not saying better, but it is much better and enjoyable to shoot. So let's go over this. So I talked about how I have had no jams. I want to go ahead and quickly celebrate that again. I've had no jams with this gun, and that is a big deal for the Daisy 340. I'm using Umarex zinc BBs. Okay, great. So now, when I first got this out of the package, though, I wasn't happy necessarily with the accuracy, and I'm very good with the DX17 now, using those same BBs. It's good in both guns. And I just like, well, let's see if I can, I think I can get this better. Okay, it's not jamming, let's get it better. So, okay, so using one of my decommissioned ones back here, and yes, I went over how these things break. There's a couple of different ways these break. I've been pretty good at keeping them going a long time for the gun. But all right, so I got it out of the package, plinked around. I want to do something more with it. So what I did is I took it apart. So let's take a look at this. This is the nice thing about the Daisy 340 compared to the Crossman, is this beautiful way you can take this apart and maintain it, or what I'm going to say is like a lube hack, kind of tactical lube. So I know they say oil it this and that after 1,000 shots. No. Okay, so what we do is, okay, so now we take the slide off. So, okay, now you'll see that obviously it looks a little bit different. The post is not there because it broke off, and we'll cover it. But what I want to talk about is exposed there. So, okay, that's the beautiful thing about the Daisy 340, ease of maintenance. Okay, so what I did is right away, I like barrel stall for my small spring guns. Other people like other lube, so I have to be careful with that. Your favorite lube is what I'll say. For me, for these spring guns, Red Riders, I use barrel stall. So right away, to give it a quick, you could say power hack, I put 2 drops of barrel salt on that inside the pump tube. I'm sorry, pump tube? No, piston tube. Piston tube. And yes, and then I set that aside, and then there is a sear here. It's not technically your trigger sear. People confuse that. That is your piston sear, and that's, again, we're talking about spring tech here. And so that little, looks like a door stop. You take a needle nose and you put some of it on top and right behind it, okay? And then you put it back together, and that helps with a smooth piston release by lubing that. It's not technically helping the trigger per se, but a clean piston release helps with the accuracy, and I can see the difference. Okay, and then also while you're here, you want to get these joints, so you can put lube here. You can do that. You can put it here, also on the slide itself, and I would use a needle nose, that L-shaped. There you go. That L-shaped groove there on the slide. So you want to get it on here, on there, get some on there. Okay. And all that, let's break it down. What am I trying to do here? Again, so the mechanics of the gun are smoother for the piston release. Working it, actually cocking it. So let's look at the other one. Okay, so actually cocking it will be smoother. You'll notice it's smoother. Okay. And so those 2 basic things help. Also, the hammer, be careful. I don't want you getting oil all over your magazine. I want you to keep your magazine on these guns dry. Keep that dry. In fact, check it. Dry it off here. Q-tip in here if you start getting any jams. We're using Umarex BBs. I didn't make any modifications to the magazine, and I just make sure to keep it dry and keep oil off. So another spot you'll want to lube, we're getting into basic firearm tech here because Daisy was good like that. There is a hammer ledge here, and that, now we're getting into trigger mechanics. And so what I've discovered is not too much, because it gets all over the gun, and you don't want that on the magazine because it could hurt your BB retainer. You don't want to lube that. So just a drop, get it in there, and so what you do is then roll it forward, work that hammer. Should go shoot, but yeah, then roll it up, and there's a couple different ways to do that, but yeah, just work it so that it gets onto that hammer ledge, and that helps. It helps also when you cock the gun, the hammer's easier to cock, and again, the mechanics of the gun are helped. So that's kind of cool, because that's basically a crossover into the firearm tech there. But yeah, getting some lube on the hammer ledge. And on this design, on the Daisy 340, it's on the right side only, so you just need to focus on that side, please. Don't do too much, because what happens, it gets all over the magazine and in here. So also, while I'm here, another pointer with the magazine, there is a spine there, and sometimes if you're not careful, that can rip a BB off, and well, you'll lose a BB. It doesn't really hurt anything. Potentially it could hurt your retainer, your BB retainer here, which I'm preaching treat it like a national treasure. So be careful with that spine you see right here, right there at the top. So when you put this in there, make sure you right against the back and then put it in there. Okay, so all that helped make this gun pretty accurate. It definitely outshoots my DX17. Stepping back at measured 5 yards and standing behind that mark, yeah, I get fewer misses. The DX17 is fun. I'm just saying this is more powerful, more accurate with Umarex BBs, Umarex zinc, and yeah. So all those things I showed you definitely help. Okay, so in the next video, we're going to get to a slight mod on my actually working model, and that's going to be that wonderful front sight. And I'll make sure to credit people for that. Okay, thank you very much.